please feel free to send in your questions, your thoughts, your responses. We'd love to hear them. We'll highlight a couple of them this time around. Okay? Thanks for being there. All right. How are we doing with this one? A lot of stuff coming up? Yep. Are you ready to take a break now from all the good stuff coming up, or you got way more to go? All right, so let's find out what people has come up for folks that seems significant. Well, it's all significant, but I mean, something you'd like to share. Well, if you're online and you want to share, we had a glitch in the system, so there probably isn't anything up there to share. But if you do want to share and you're online, type it in now, and we'll get it. Yes, let me come back to you.
Well, where I see myself is it on?
Yes. A little closer.
Closer?
There you go.
Okay. Wow. I was telling this group here that I do believe in God, and in the Course in Miracles it says that we are love, and that fear is what we make. But I don't always feel intellectually. I know that, but I don't always feel it emotionally in my heart, and that's why I doubt.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Is doubt related to your faith? Anyone else? Okay, I'll come right back.
This is breaking news here. None of us think that this is the least bit wrong.
Okay.
All of us think it's absolutely true.
Okay, we've got one table that's 100% on board. Okay, excellent. Oh, here, Dory.
So what we developed together was that doubt is a portal to faith, and that it's an awareness to see the doubt and say, oh, this is a growth opportunity, an opportunity to maybe see what's blocking the faith. Does that encapsulate? Okay.
That encapsulates pretty well, I think. Wow, okay. Excellent. Anybody else? One more? Chris?
I think I heard we can use a little bit more doubt in our world today. That it is kind of amazing how, kind of going back to the other one too, that what we're able to believe from, that comes over the media or through politicians or whatever, that we're willing to, what are we really willing to accept even if it doesn't make sense? So maybe we need a little more doubt, we need a little more critical thinking in our world.
See, faith means a lot of different things, doesn't it? Sometimes we think faith is only about spirit and God and all of that. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff that we just take in and believe. Do we have any comments over there? Nope, not right now. All right. Okay, so I'm going to invite everybody to do it one more time. Actually, two more times, but this is the one more time right now. Try another table. Is that what it is? I don't know. Okay, when the music stops, find a seat. Oh, there is no music.
It's this gal here with the blue jacket.
Oh, yes. Yes. Okay, as you find your spot, Michelle is handing out the question. The quote is, religion is a culture of faith. Science is a culture of doubt. How does this relate to your understanding of science of mind? All right, let's come back. Finish up our statements. Got a lot coming out on this one, huh? All right, so does anybody agree with this statement? No, okay, a lot of no's. All right, excellent. Oh, we got one over here. Who doesn't agree with it? Everybody else, okay. So, Rebecca, do you want to speak to why you believe it? Here, hang on, let me give you a mic.
Well, Ernest Holmes called our faith religious science. And he created a spiritual mind treatment, which is like a scientific formula. And if people practiced mind treatments as he created them, it's a logical argument from a philosophical point of view that proves that we are all God and lovely things can happen scientifically as a result of using that prayer. So I think it's all the same thing, because quantum physics is now directing us to the understanding that we're all one. And Ernest Holmes knew that a very long time ago.
All right, who wants to argue why it's not? Liz does. Liz? Lois? Do you want to argue it, or you? Oh, now she says yes.
My take is science is a culture of faith, not religion. Religion is a culture of doubt because they doubt everything that everybody else does.
Okay. Interesting perspective. I like that. Over here we go, Lois.
So I just had a question for you. Do you believe that science is a culture of doubt? Yeah, you and your group and you or whatever.
Classical science is a culture of doubt. Meanings that when you go into a room with your chemistry set, I think that's kind of what you mean, where you're figuring out and you're trying to figure out what the thing is.
Yeah, what you just said, it's like you're trying to figure it out. For me, that doesn't come from an attitude of doubt. It comes from an attitude of discovery. So it's not about doubting. It's about being open, not like this isn't. It's like, is it? Which is a whole lot different than I don't think it is.
So it's got to do with our definitions of doubt, if you will. Yes, and I think that is really key. All right. Anybody else? Okay. Here? No. Yes? No. Okay. I'm going up here.
But just on what you just said, Brian, isn't that true about everything? I mean, everything has to do with our definitions. So if we're looking at doubt as a bad thing, then we're going to see it through that lens. So it's just, I don't know. Does that make sense? Like it's all.
It's not like a positive or a negative. It just is. Like it's a being thing. Like like doubt is you're being. It's like it's not trust.
So doubt
It's not confidence. Where with science, it's like let's find out. Like religious science is a science because if you apply spiritual laws, it's if-then. Science is if-then clauses. If this, then this. And religious science is using spiritual law to demonstrate or prove something. Like for me, chemistry is science
Okay. Okay, that's good. It's, yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of thought about doubt, which says, doubt is very negative, because if we doubt ourselves, we doubt what's possible, we doubt all those things, then that's an issue. If we just utilize doubt as a question, that's a different thing, I think. And I think that's kind of what you were getting at.
I am doubting this, but I can use scientific means to prove it.
Okay, okay. Said, I'm doubting this, but I can use scientific means to prove it. So that's sort of a perspective. When I'm doubting something, I can use scientific means to prove it. Nancy, and then maybe Carol.
Well, one of the things that we discussed was the fact that quantum physics, the observer effect comes into. So, I mean, you can say that I'm going to do this and I will get that result. However, there is the human element that comes into it, and Holmes expounded upon that and said, our thoughts are a projection. You can see what you're believing by looking at what's happening in your life and then examining that. So the two are related.
I like that. I like that a lot. Wow.
Thank you, Nancy. That I agree with that wholeheartedly. If you want to know what you think, just look around. But I was also moved to talk about a little bit about the comfort zone when we talk about doubt, because doubting God is one thing, and doubting whether I am safe driving a 20-ton truck when I've never done it before is something else. So I think we need to look at, what are we comfortable with? And if I go outside my comfort zone, I might have some doubt about whether I can do something or believe something or be somewhere. And that's okay. That's part of being human, is that we get to question ourselves and have curiosity and learn or not learn. And that's the choice we always have. Are we going to learn something or are we not? Are we going to stay in our comfort zone? So that's all I wanted to say.
So are you going to drive that truck? Are you going to get some lessons? Okay, well, the answer is no. Okay. Was there another one?
So, does that mean doubt has to be a negative thing? Or does doubt represent, maybe not as negative as we think, maybe doubt represents that the faith conquers doubt?
Okay. It's all love. It's all love, right? It's all love. All right, so do you want to?
I'll add to that. Reverend Patrick used to say, love is all there is, and the rest we made up.
That's right.
Yep. Okay, so do y'all like who you're with right now, or do you want to move one more time? Stay. I figured you would. I just had that feeling. Okay, I'm going to let you stay where you are. We have one more to do. Where is it? Here it is. Michelle's going to bring these around to you. Oh, right, exactly. All right. So, the question for this one is, how do you live in this contrast? How do you live in this conflict, if you will, or thought? So the two quotes, there's two quotes on this one. The first one is Thomas Paine from the Gods and Other Lectures. Progress is born of doubt and inquiry. The church never doubts, never inquires. To doubt is heresy. To inquire is to admit that you do not know. The church does neither. That's one. Second one is from Oppenheimer. And he says, there must be no barriers to freedom of inquiry. There's no place for dogma in science. The scientist is free and must be free to ask any question, to doubt any assertion, to seek for any evidence, to correct any errors. So there you go. Look at that, see how you put those together, what you think, how it applies to your faith. How does it apply to your life with Spirit?
If we replace the word science with religious science, this describes our philosophy.
Yeah, open it. Sorry. All right, we're going to take a minute and hear some final thoughts, and then we're going to move on so that we can all get to all the good food that's back there. Because I know you're waiting for that. All right. Anybody have something they want to share from that? What did you discover in that process? About yourself, about other people, about your understanding of what was there?
Religious science is not the first one, it's the second.
It's the second.
Those two quotes?
Ah. Okay, religious science is the second one. All right.
We discovered that the church is not following the teachings of Jesus.
Well, they went pretty deep in their study during this time. All right. Okay. Christine has something to share with us.
Well, I think my question is, where is the rubber meeting the road here with these questions in my life? And one of the things that came to me was, if we as a community are trying to work more on outreach, like we were challenged last weekend with Dr. Sani, then we're reaching into the community, people that don't necessarily think like we do about the ability of faith and science to be compatible. So, so then how are we prepared, how are we consciously prepared to engage in a helpful and welcoming way with people that have a differing view? I think that's where I got the rubber meeting the road.
All right. So how do we express, what is the understanding that we're wanting to express? If we're talking to someone else, where are we coming from? And I think that's the question from this quote, these quotes.
Yeah, the thing about the second quote, it's like no barriers, freedom, no place for dogma. There's freedom there to think and be and explore and discover. I mean, like the word discover, it's like it's to discover. It's like you're taking the cover off and seeing what was underneath the cover. But it was already there, waiting for us to discover it. And the thing about Holmes, that he put all these things together and they come together and they hold together.
All right. Ron.
What I questioned about this was that it describes what the church is. And obviously, we don't, at this group, necessarily believe that. But then the second one says, and that Ernest Holmes pretty much said, that this is a philosophy. Well, then my question is, why do we call this a church then? Why don't we go to philosophy every Sunday? And
Because I'd have to get a new job. No, but that's a really good question. That's a really good question. Yeah, and what do we call it? We call it a spiritual center, right? So there's a thought about not connecting that, but how do you really effectively do that?
And the conversation embody it. The conversation at the greater CSL is around calling it community.
Community. So here we are at our community connection time. So, my thought as I was listening to people and what was coming to me was, if you take those two quotes and you remove church and science from them, what else, what are you describing in those two? Choice. Okay, choice. Freedom to choose. But what's the difference between the two? What are you hearing? Consciousness. But what's creativity? Okay, so creativity kind of falls in the second one. Self. Okay. Evolution. And what's happening in the first one? Restriction. What does that come from? Fear and control and power, right? Ego. All of those things, and all those come from, in theory, fear that someone or something will think that we don't know what we're talking about, or that we'll discover we've been talking about something in some way and then later discover that we're wrong, or yeah. Yeah, and that's been true at different points in life, and even right now, you say the wrong thing, you just might find yourself in hot water. So, the second one comes from that point of possibility, and knowing that just because I've never driven that truck doesn't mean I can't learn it. Just because I've never understood it this way doesn't mean that's not a way to understand it. And I can't look at it that way. Right? And I think that's the thing. So.
I would say that there's also a difference in the level of permission that's granted by the paradigm of those two different things, the way it's expressed. So I, as an individual, even if I am in a church, that doesn't mean that I'm not going to grow, that I'm not going to have my own experience, even though the paradigm of the church has built into it certain controls, limitations that perpetuate a certain level of consciousness or lack of it. But as an individual spirit, that's me on my journey. And so I may, a lot of people talk about being a recovering Catholic. When I was a Catholic, I'm grateful for the devotion and the love in my heart that called me to understand a consciousness in a certain way. And then I moved on from that structure. But, I think it's a journey. So we're all, I said earlier on one of the questions, we're all in our individual little bubbles of laboratory. We're all little scientists there, proving to ourselves what truth is, what belief is, what is in this moment now, and it evolves. There's no stagnation there, unless we choose it.
Thank you. Thank you.
For me, it's always revolved around faith. And do I have it or do I not have it? I mean, when I'm well, I have it. When I'm sick, I don't. I doubt. But I love what Reverend Rebecca said, because it reminds me of prayer, that this day does come that I will be well. I like the word esperanza, which is hope, but in New Thought, we don't use hope too much because we believe that we already are well, and there's nothing wrong with us. And so all this today has really helped me to better understand who I am. And in my doubt, I am a better practitioner. I'm deeper and fuller, and my cup runneth over because of the doubt, because of the pain I suffer. It makes me beautiful, and so it is.
So it is. Woo! Thank you. And so it is. All right. Was that good? Yeah. All right. Excellent. Excellent. So the thought is to do this like once a month, this kind of thing. Does that sound good? Okay. Something around this kind of thing. So we're going to move on, and we're going to come to our time of offering, and we're going to step into that place of knowing that all of our needs are met. And I can tell you that we've had experiences of that here just this week and seen it happen. And it's not about magical thinking. It's about remembering that it's already in controlled, already handled. That's the word I'm looking for. So we have a couple people wandering around with baskets. Please place your gifts in the baskets. If you need a moment, take a moment, and then we'll come back around and get your gifts. So there's no rush. Does anybody want to share something they are having gratitude about today? Aha. Jessica.
So a few weeks ago, I was worried about an exam for school, and me and Kematara prayed about it, and I ended up getting a 87 on that exam, so I was pretty happy about that.
All right. It's always helpful when someone else holds that with you, right? Yeah. Okay, who else has a gratitude moment? Okay, I'm gonna wander. Gratitude, 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 gratitude. Okay, here's one over here.
I'm just grateful for this philosophy because I was just a mess. And then somebody handed me a book, and the title was Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And it did. Yeah. So I just love this philosophy.
Well, that is quite amazing. Some of us are still trying to figure out how to change our lives. Oh, that must be it. All right. Whew. Well, thank you all so much. As we prepare to bless these, I'd like to call forth and pray. And okay, I need one other practitioner that wants to pray with us up here. I'll do it. Dino does. Okay, let's go. So we're going to take a moment and give thanks for the things in the basket, give thanks for all that is, and to hold each other in community, in love. I do want to just mention that it's been an eventful week and there's a lot going on. Our good friend Michael Cowden is in very close to the end, close to making his transition. We have Chico, who made his transition this week. And Susan went home because her dog is injured and not looking too well. And we have an update.
So Susan's dog is at the emergency vet, and he's going to stay overnight for observation. But he's here. Yeah.
All right. All right, come on over. Whew. So let's just take this moment. Here, would you just hold that for me? Let's just take this moment and be in gratitude for the flow and the abundance and the amount of absolute love which flows through us and as us, whether it's in the form of money, which is in front of us, or in the form of our gifts, in the form of our relationships with our partners, with our friends, with our pets, all of it. There is so much flowing in our lives, and we are constantly in a state of giving and receiving. And so as we do that, I know that everything in these baskets is flowing through us, that we may be able to do what we're here to do, that we may be able to shine light out in a different way simply because we are willing to receive these gifts and to utilize them for the love of each other. So I'm grateful for that. And right now I know that Spirit is the one thing happening right here and right now, and that each one of us is that life of Spirit. That life of Spirit that is shining everywhere. And that as we walk, whether we have doubt or not, it doesn't matter. The point is, where are we living from? What are we believing ultimately? Are we knowing that it's okay to ask a question? Are we knowing that it's okay to sometimes take a moment and step back? Yes, that is perfectly fine. And we are in the flow of Spirit every time we open ourselves up to something new coming in. Every time we allow ourselves to learn. Every time we allow ourselves to hear something and say, wow, now I get it. So I am just grateful for all of this, for this community connection time that we have each week, and for the possibilities of life that are represented by us, by Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living, by the Centers for Spiritual Living, by all of our friends in New Thought, all of our friends who are living into their spiritual life to the best of their ability. I know that they are receiving exactly what they need right now, and that they are able to share exactly what is needed from that place. So I give thanks, and I pass my word.
Spirit loves me. Look at me here in between these two. I couldn't have asked for more. This was my prayer, and I didn't even realize it. To be in loving community, for it to be real. It's real, baby. My mother used to say, God is real. Your faith will save you. Hello, Mommy. Thank you for your prayer. Thank you for your prayer of today. I just want to extend a heartfelt love to those who are in sorrow for their pets today, as I know how deep that love is, and it is a love we all share, and we're all here with you in this moment. And as you go out into your day, please know that our hearts are full for you, and this will never change. And I pass my word.
Oh, and how grateful I am to accept this word, to know truly that our pets, our loved ones, our ancestors are the angels of the earth that we walk with, knowing that they are here always, knowing that each and every essence, each and every soul, each and every moment of joy that Chico brought to the world is right here, right now, and that we can call on that at any time. So we let go of understanding it. We let go of pretending we know how or why or what it's all about. And we stand in that doubt, basking in that doubt. Doubt. Do over until belief triumphs. And so we allow it to triumph as us. We allow it to be, not to judge it, but for it to be that point of inquiry that leads us to more love, more faith, more joy, more peace, more trust, more abundance, knowing that this community is so abundant. So I'm blessing anyone out there. I'm blessing those that are in pain, those that are doing healing. I'm blessing the Marilyns, knowing that their body temples are rejuvenating. I'm blessing all of the community, wherever it is and wherever it comes from. And when it arrives online, I just know that we don't have to doubt. We know that what we're doing is walking a journey of love and faith. And in that, we stand in an abundant universe, and we bless the finances. We bless it all, knowing that truly, as we believe it, so shall it be. And so we just rest in that and allow it to be and say, and so it is.
It is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. All right?
how did it feel to be ministering to one another today? We gave the talk, didn't we? Thank you for that opportunity to be in close community connection today. And for the realness of this time that we spent together. We're really grateful that Spirit is working among us. We want to be sure that you know that we do have prayer opportunities available. There are lots of practitioners here today that are able and willing to serve you in that way. That over there where the black, whatever they are, that kind of in that area is where we'll gather for prayer if you'd like to come for prayer. And also, of course, there's food. We can smell it. It smells delicious. We're looking forward to having fellowship around food in just a couple of moments. Our healer of the day, Cheryl, will be back in the little room off the kitchen, so please take advantage of her presence today. All right, thank you.
There it is. No, I don't think we need to. Okay, we're going to just close together. We're going to do an affirmation. And I do want to mention that our beloved Sue is home very sick, and Jordana jumped in at the last moment, willing to come in and support this stuff up here, the stream. So we've had quite the substitution list today. Woo! So I'm going to paraphrase something from Louise Hay. I am free from all destructive fears and doubts. I am free from all destructive fears and doubts. I am loved and I am safe. I am loved and I am safe. And so it is. Amen.